Oh baby mine, oh baby mine, oh baby mine, oh baby mine. I get so lonely when I dream about you. Can't do without you. That's why I dream about you. If I could only put my arms about you, life would be so fair.
So grab a blanket, dim the lights, and come with us now on a journey through time and space. I am your host with some of the most, Kevin Travers, here with my co-editor, junior producer, sound effects artisan, and typical boy genius, Jeremy Eric Tenenbaum. Jeremy, give him a wave. There he is. He's not normally so shy. Before we begin, I would remind you to please mute yourselves. I think mostly everyone is muted during the performance, but you are more than welcome to make use of the chat. I am already drunk with power as the host, and so I will not hesitate to mute anyone who displeases me. Each play is about a half an hour, and there will be an intermission in between. But first, let me introduce you to the Radio Sorts players, people who are certainly not under any threat to perform here tonight and who are in no way being blackmailed. I give you Kelly Ralabate, Brenna Dinon, Dwight Evan Young, Brian Maloney, Rachel Specht, Nicholas Perilli, Britny Brooks, Kailey Tedesco, Betsy Herbert, Evan Myers, Abbey Minor, Daniel DiFranco, Rosanna Byrnes, Luke Condzal, Iris Johnston, and Emily Zido. And now, with no ado whatsoever, we begin our evening in 1954 from The Six Shooter, the quickest draw from that far-off country of the Old West, as she, I made a typo there, as she comes along some unlikely adversaries at the battle at Tower Rock. In a moment, you'll hear Brenna Dinon as the Six Shooter, just one of many fine programs brought to you each week on the NBC radio network. Tomorrow night, there's top comedy entertainment with The Bob Hope Show, The Phil Harris and Alice Faye Show, and Can You Top This? With Senator Ford. Bob Hope delivers rapid-fire comedy routines, while Phil Harris and Alice Faye bring both mirth and music. It's a great Friday night lineup of comedy programs, all of them heard on NBC. Now, Brenna Dinon as the Six Shooter. The woman in the saddle is angular and long-legged. Her skin is sun-dyed brown. The gun in her holster is gray steel and rainbow mother of pearl, its handle unmarked. People call them both the Six Shooter. The NBC studio presents The Six Shooter, a transcribed series of radio dramas based on the life of Britt Condit, the Texas Plains woman who wandered through the Western territories, leaving behind a trail of still remembered legends.
Tower Rock sure was spruced up, flags in almost every building. A big banner stretched all the way across Main Street, all the way from the roof of the hotel to the top of the Whitford Bank. Franklin County Fair, that's what it said. Prizes, rodeo, free barbecue, Saturday, August 20th. Come one, come all. Well, tomorrow would be the 20th. I'd come to town a day early to be sure of getting a room. Good thing I did too. Only one left was on the second floor of the hotel, the livery stable side of the hotel at that. I put my clean shirt in the dresser drawer and headed downstairs. The clock in the lobby said 3:15. Well, that meant I had time to sort of give Tower Rock the once-over before supper, and maybe I'd wander over to see how Kermit and Rome were getting along. But just as I was crossing the street, I saw Rome out the front door of the bank. Rome, hey, Rome!
Oh, Britt. Well, finally decided to put in an appearance, huh? How are ya?
I'm fine, Rome. I was just on my way over to see you.
Huh, you're not running short of cash, are you, Britt?
No. It was gonna be a social call. Not that I'm flush or anything like that.
Coming to town for the fair, huh?
Yeah, I haven't been to one since I don't know when. I figured Dad Morgan's cattle would do fine without me for a few days, so, well, how are things with you, Rome?
So.
Bessie, she all right?
Oh, what, pretty well.
Kermit and Thelma?
I guess they're all right.
You guess?
I inquired lately. Well, I better get moving. I told Betsy I'd pick her up at the schoolhouse. She's on the decorating committee. I'll see you later, Britt.
Yeah, I'll see you. Well, I sure couldn't figure out what was the matter with Rome. The way he froze up when I mentioned Kermit. Wow, those Maddens and Binghams always were more like kin to each other than in-laws. Folks said it was sure lucky for the Whitford girls to marry two fellows who got along so well, especially after Jess Whitford died and left the bank to both of his daughters, Bessie and Thelma, 50-50. Rome Madden and Kermit Bingham had turned into first-class bankers, too. Why, the Whitford Bank probably, it's worth about twice as much now than it was when old Jess had run it.
Well, hello, Britt. Where'd you come from?
Oh, Kermit. Oh, I was just thinking about you.
About me?
Yeah, well, I ran into Rome a minute ago.
Yeah, I suppose you was shooting his mouth off again.
What? Well, no.
Just don't believe everything you hear, Britt. There's two sides to every story. Remember that.
Sure, Kermit.
Well, I got to be running along. Thelma's at the schoolhouse waiting for me to fetch her home.
Well, you could have saved yourself a trip.
Huh?
Well, that's where Rome was riding to get Bessie. He could have picked up Thelma at the same time.
Why, you don't think they'd share a ride in the same buggy, do you?
Huh?
Well, I'll probably see you at the fair tomorrow. So long.
Yeah, sure. So long. Well, there just wasn't any doubt about it. Something had happened between the Maddens and the Binghams, that's all. It must have been something pretty serious, too, by the way Rome and Kermit had been acting. And knowing Bessie and Thelma like I did, well, boy, I was sure glad I wasn't involved in that. They were real firm women, Bessie and Thelma. Always had been ever since they were girls. I couldn't help wondering what just had set them off. Not that it was any of my business, of course, but well, Otis Spears would know. Yeah, him being the justice of the peace and the local undertaker, he knew almost everything that went on in Foster County. So I went to see him at his funeral parlor.
You ain't never seen nothing like it, Britt, the way they've been behaving. Why, they ain't even spoke to each other for the past 2 months.
You don't say.
Take turns going to church. One Sunday, the Binghams attend services. Next Sunday, the Maddens, just so Thelma and Bessie won't meet up.
Well, that's the darndest. I can't believe it.
But that ain't the half of it. Not the half. You remember the Social 16? You know them couples who always got together and played whist on Friday nights?
Yeah?
Well, it ain't the Social 16 no more. The Binghams pulled out. And don't you know, but the Johnstons and Potters, they left at the same time. We've got 2 Social 8s now.
2? You mean this foolishness has gone beyond Thelma and Bessie? Other folks are taking sides too?
I'll say they are. Whole town is split right down the middle.
Well, I never heard of such a thing. How did it start anyway?
Well, it was last May. That was the beginning. Thelma's birthday is the first week in May. Her sister Bessie's just a year younger, almost to the day. Her birthday's the 10th or 11th, right in there somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Well, seems Kermit bought his wife a new Surrey for her birthday present. Had it shipped all the way out from Kansas City. Thelma sure was proud, too. Well, you can't blame her. It was just about the nicest carriage this town had ever seen. Well, the nicest till it came time for Rome to give Bessie her present the following week.
You don't mean he bought Bessie a Surrey too?
Yep. That's what he did. Even fancier than the one Kermit give to Thelma. Yep, a whole lot fancier. Red leather seats with real springs in them and a white top and painted white wheels. Of course, Rome said it was just a coincidence that he'd ordered Bessie's Surrey long before he found out that's what Kermit was giving to Thelma.
And that sounds reasonable too. He could have done that.
Yeah, some folks think so, and some don't. Kermit and Thelma claimed it was just plain spite work, that Rome and Bessie had always been jealous of him. Anyhow, that Surrey business just seemed to set everybody off, especially the women. Oh, being sisters, I guess they'd had their grievances before, but they'd always held them back. Now they just let fly in all directions. Why, Thelma's even going to
Huh? What's that? What you saying, Otis?
Nothing at all, Britt. Say, you're gonna stay for the fair, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, sure. That's why I'm here.
Uh-huh. Well, I was thinking, maybe you wouldn't mind helping me out.
Oh, what?
You see, I'm general chairman of the whole doings, and I got almost everything set, except in some of the judging.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm not much of an authority, but I guess I can tell a cow from a horse.
Oh, no. We're all fixed in that department. But you see, the baked goods and the preserves and pickles, well, we just haven't been able to find the right person to hand out the blue ribbons there.
Oh, well, Otis, I don't know anything about cooking. I just don't think.
Well, you know about tasting, don't you?
Well, yeah.
Well, that's all you got to do, Britt. Sample whatever they put in front of you and say which one tastes the best.
Oh, now wait a minute, Otis. No.
I'll tell you what. I'll just put you down for preserves. I'll get somebody else to take over the rest of the stuff.
No, but
Well, I got a meeting of the barbecue committee over at the general store. You be here at the schoolhouse 9 o'clock in the morning. That's where the judging's supposed to start.
But wait, Otis, wait. What? Gee whiz, the idea of me giving out blue ribbons for preserves. I couldn't tell a peach from a grape if it wasn't for the color. Well, there wasn't any sense in me standing here in Otis's funeral parlor worrying about it, so I went back to the hotel to fix for supper. Yeah? Who is it?
It's Bessie Madden, Britt.
Well, just a second. Well, why don't you come in, Bessie?
Why, thank you.
Bessie, you're looking well.
Oh, so you, Britt. So are you. My goodness, I don't think I've ever seen you look better.
Oh, now, Bessie.
Well, what I come by for was to pick you up and to take you over to our house for supper.
Oh?
You don't have no other plans now, do you?
No, I was just gonna eat here at the hotel.
Oh, you don't think that we let you eat at the hotel, Britt? Why, you're one of our closest friends. Always have been.
Well, I
don't know why Rome didn't invite you when you guys met up this afternoon. I guess he just took it for granted that you'd know I'd be expecting you. We're having fried chicken, hot biscuits, some of my strawberry preserves, and you do like chicken, don't you, Britt?
Oh, sure.
Well, what are we waiting for? I got my Surrey outside, and I'd just be glad to...
Well, excuse me, Bessie.
Sure.
Britt, well, I just heard you were in Tower Rock, and I wanted to tell you, Kermit and I are expecting you for dinner. Now, I won't take no for an answer. Oh, I thought you were alone. I didn't mean to interrupt anything.
You're a little late, Thelma. Britt's having supper with Rome and me.
Huh. I might have expected you'd pull a stunt like this, Bessie Madden. Trying to bribe him, huh?
Bribe? Ladies, I
suppose you didn't ask him here to supper yourself. This is one time you can't lie out of it, Thelma. I heard you with your own voice.
There's no reason I shouldn't ask him. Brit's an old friend of mine.
A friend of yours? You never done a thing for him before. Not one thing in your whole life.
Now, Bessie.
And since when were you so interested in his welfare?
Now, Thelma.
The minute you found out she was going to be judging the preserves tomorrow, that's when.
Preserves?
As if I had any cause to try and influence him. Why, you know my strawberry preserves have won first prize at every county fair for the last 10 years.
Yes, but I never entered against you before. I let you win. And this time it's going to be very different.
You're just making a fool of yourself, Thelma. You couldn't cook up a strawberry preserve if your life depended on it.
I've got Mama's recipe too, and don't you forget it.
Now hold on here.
And all I have to do is
now
just
hold on. Now hold on here now. Now, I want to get this straight. Both of you have entered your strawberry preserves in the fair tomorrow.
I have entered my preserves. Can't speak for her.
Oh, mine'll be there too. Don't you worry about it.
And I'm supposed to judge between them. Is that it?
Otis Spears said you'd agree to it.
That's right.
Well, Britt.
Just wait till I get my hands on Otis Spears.
We'll return to the six-shooter in just a moment.
Not all careless drivers have accidents, but many such drivers cause accidents. The driver who drives slowly down Main Street while doing a little window shopping is a menace. So is a driver who insists on telling the people in the back seat about his poker game last week. It's no wonder that ordinarily cautious drivers start to lose their tempers and take unnecessary chances to pass these careless drivers. So the National Safety Council says, if you want to window shop, get out and walk. If you're too busy talking to pay attention to traffic, get out and walk. The driver's license you have doesn't give you the right to endanger the lives of your passengers or others. Driving can be dangerous. Keep your mind on what you're doing or get out and walk.
Now, Act 2 of The Six Shooter, starring Brenna Dinon as Britt Pond.
Well, I told Thelma and Bessie that I couldn't have supper with either one of them. As a matter of fact, I kind of plain lost my appetite, I guess. It did take me a while to get rid of them, though. They both kept lagging behind, wanting to get the last word in, but finally they went home. Well, Otis Spears wasn't at his funeral parlor, so I went over to Widow Berkeley's boarding house where he lives, and I waited for him. It was after 9 o'clock before he showed up. Mrs. Berkeley had already gone to bed, and I heard the front door open, and I saw him head for the hall steps. Now, just hold on, Otis.
Yeah? Oh, Britt. Well, what are you doing here?
I just wanted you to know that I won't be judging any preserves tomorrow.
What?
You heard me, Otis.
But Britt, you promised you'd do it.
I didn't promise any such thing, and you know it. I don't appreciate you trying to get me in the middle of this feud between Thelma Bingham and Bessie Madden.
Oh, you found out, huh?
I sure did. They were over to see me, both of them. I had never heard such a hen squabble in my whole life.
Well, I told you this thing between them was serious.
Well, there were a few things you didn't tell me, like the fact that they were both entering strawberry preserves at the doings tomorrow.
Now, Britt, you don't understand.
Oh, I understand, all right. You didn't want to tackle the job of judging those preserves yourself, so you shifted it onto me. I understand it, all right.
I couldn't judge them, Britt. Don't you see? Whichever way I was to choose, I'd make enemies of half the folks in town. The berrying business would drop off 50%.
Now, Otis,
But you're an impartial judge, Britt. You ain't taken no sides in this fracas yet.
and what's more is I don't intend to either.
Well, of course, if that's the way you feel. If you want Thelma and Bessie to go on feuding, and you won't do nothing to stop it.
Well, I sure don't see how my judging their preserves would have anything to do with ending their fight.
But don't you see, Britt? You're the sixth shooter. Everybody in Tower Rock likes you and respects you, and they all know you ain't got no axe to grind in this affair. So whatever decision you handed down, they'd have to accept it. Both Thelma and Bessie.
Well, maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't.
Oh, they would, all right. Now, what I'm getting at is this. Folks have forgotten about the two Surreys by now. The argument's gone way past that. And these here preserves have just about become the crux of the matter. See, Bessie's always been known for making the best strawberry preserves in the whole county. They're her chief claim to fame, you might say. Why, she's even took blue ribbons at the state fair.
Oh, that's so.
And nobody's even thought of entering against her. Not for years and years.
Not until this year.
Not until this year, that's right. Now, if Thelma's preserves should be judged better than Bessie's, well, that'll mean Thelma's beat her on her own ground. Bessie wouldn't have a leg to stand on. She'd just have to admit that Thelma won out and, well, that might settle the whole trouble between them.
Mm-hmm. You'd think that'd be best, Otis, for Thelma's preserves to win?
Well, not necessarily. See, if Bessie should take the blue ribbon again, well, that'll sort of show everybody that she's still top dog, in the preserves line anyway, and folks who've been supporting Thelma might swing over to Bessie's side, and that might settle everything too.
Mm-hmm. The way you've got it figured, it wouldn't matter who wins. Either way, the fight would be over. Is that it?
That's right. That's it exactly.
Uh-huh. Well.
So, of course, it's possible that Thelma's taken first prize might just make Bessie madder than ever and sort of add fuel to the fire. And it's possible that if Bessie was to win again, well, vice versa.
Vice versa. Yeah, I'd say that's more than possible. I'd say it's likely.
Oh, now, Britt, you mustn't look on the dark side. I'm absolutely certain that if you make the right decision tomorrow, you'll end this whole thing once and for all. Thelma and Bessie will go back to being fond of each other, and Tower Rock can have a little peace and quiet for a change.
I see. And what is the right decision, Otis?
Well, that's easy, Britt.
Is it, huh?
Well, sure. All you have to do is give the blue ribbon to whichever one made the best taste in preserves. You don't think we're running a crooked county fair, do you?
Well, sir, I never saw a fellow like Otis Spears. He could talk circles around a Philadelphia lawyer. Well, finally I saw if I was going to get any sleep at all that night, I'd just have to give in. But I made up my mind on one thing. I wasn't going to have Thelma or Bessie turning on me, neither one of them. I was going to say that their preserves tasted exactly the same and call it a tie. And that way there wouldn't be any harm done, and I'd be leaving things just the way I found them. Of course, I didn't tell Otis what I was planning to do or anything, but here's what he said.
I knew you'd come around, Britt. When you saw how much I needed you, I knew you couldn't let me down. Good night, Britt. See you tomorrow.
Yes, see you tomorrow, Otis.
But Britt, say just one thing.
Uh-huh.
One little thing I forgot to tell you. Sort of slipped my mind.
What's that?
In case you have any trouble deciding as to whose preserves are the best. Well, there cannot be a tie.
There can't be a tie? Well, why not?
Well, you could call it a tie, sure, but that would still mean Thelma had won.
Well, how's that?
Well, don't you see, Britt? If Thelma's strawberry preserves are just as good as Bessie's, well, folks would think that Thelma had been letting her sister win all these years by not contesting with her before. No, a tie would be the same as giving the whole prize to Thelma. You do see that, don't you?
Huh? Yeah, I guess.
Good night now, Britt, and may the best woman win.
Britt, oh, Britt.
Hello, Kermit. You're up pretty late, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been looking for you.
For me? Oh,
Yes, well, Britt, I think this quarrel between Thelma and Bessie and between Rome and me and all the rest of it, well, I think it's gone entirely too far.
you do? Well, I'm glad to hear you say so.
But if Bessie and Rome won't come to their senses, well, they've just got to be taught a lesson. Maybe Thelma's right. Maybe the fair tomorrow is the best place to do it.
What?
Well, at least everybody will be there to see Bessie when she gets her comeuppance. That is, if Thelma's strawberry preserves were to, well, what I'm getting at is this. Now, Thelma's just got to win, Britt. If you don't, my life will be just miserable. And Thelma's got a real knack for making me miserable.
Hello, Britt.
Well, hello, Rome.
I hope you don't mind me coming to your room like this, but I just had to see you. Bessie sent me.
Well, it was the same thing all over again from Rome, except he was a little more forceful than Kermit. Well, after he'd gone, I'd try to get some sleep, but all night long, I just kept dreaming about strawberry preserves. Jars and jars of strawberry preserves. Well, anyway, I woke up at 7 o'clock, nearly 3 hours after my usual waking up time. Somehow, I didn't feel very rested either. I got dressed and I stopped off at Gravy Gibson's cafe for some breakfast. Not that I could eat very much. Then I started off in the direction of the schoolhouse for the fair. The judging was already underway when I got there.
Good job.
Oh,
And second prize goes to Mrs. Henny Spidell for her devil's food cake.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well deserved.
Good job.
Tasty.
It smells though.
Mind it.
An honorable mention to Mrs. Janie Seals for her chocolate lair.
Oh, well, that's
Bad. I mean,
What?
it's fine.
Chocolate lazy.
It's okay.
And one more honorable mention to Miss Addie Simpson for her sponge.
Good going.
Oh, good sponge. Yeah.
I got
Fine
one
sponge.
sponge.
I like a good sponge.
Now, let's see. The next item is oh yes, the preserves. It's time for the preserves.
Oh, yeah.
What? He's
say
bizarre.
Watch this, watch this. Watch this.
But I don't see. Oh, there she is. All right, Britt, right up here, Britt, right up here now. Here she is, folks.
Excuse me, beg your pardon.
Well, folks, I guess you all know Britt Ponsett.
Hoorah!
There.
Hi, Britt.
All right.
Yeah, well, Britt here has been kind enough to volunteer her services in judging the preserves. Now, let's see. I believe there are, only 2 entries, it seems. Well, yeah, that's right. 2 entries for the preserves. And they're both strawberry. Quite a coincidence.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
Yes, well, the first entry here is submitted by Mrs. Bessie Madden.
Woo-hoo!
Woo! Bessie Madden. And the second entry comes from Mrs. Thelma Bingham.
You gotta bring him. Woo!
Oh, the nerve.
Now I'll just unscrew the caps on these jars. Goodness gracious. Mrs. Madden doesn't know her own. Oops. Well, there we are. Well, Brett, you can just use that spoon there on the table. It's clean, it's clean. All right, if you're ready, here's the first jar, Mrs. Betsy Madden's.
Oh, thanks, Otis. I'll just
Brett, be careful.
oh.
Oh no!
Oh my God, what?
Oh golly. I don't know. I don't know what happened, Otis. I thought I had a good firm grip on it. I sure am sorry.
Well, I'm sure you are. Well, folks, I seem to have had a little accident up here. Mrs. Madden's preserves are kind of divided between the floor and Britt's trousers there. Why, I just don't know what we can do under the circumstances. Looks like, I guess, we'll have to rule since there's only one entry available for tasting and...
You'll just rule no such thing, Otis Specht. I've got another jar of my preserves right out in the hall.
Oh, another jar.
Brought it along, figuring there might be a slip up somewheres. I'll be right back.
Well, that was sure far-sighted of Bessie, wasn't it, folks?
Oh, no.
Don't that just beat all?
Yeah.
Well, while we're waiting, Britt, you can go ahead and taste Mrs. Bingham's preserves. Now, here you are, Britt. No, I'll hold it for you. Just spoon right in.
Well,
Here now, and I'd appreciate it if you'd see that nothing untoward happens to this one, Otis.
Oh, don't worry, Bessie. Don't you worry.
What's happened? Who's gonna win this one?
Ah, there. Now that one came off quite easy. All right, Britt. These are Mrs. Madden's. Now go right ahead.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
well.
Well, you had enough?
Yeah, I've had enough.
Ooh.
All right, folks, all right. Quiet down, quiet down. Britt Ponsett is ready to announce her decision.
Well, it is my opinion that I want to be sure of one thing first. Thing is, now I understand that my job is to say whose preserves taste the best. That right? Is that right? I'm supposed to pick the best tasting strawberry preserves in the whole county, right, Otis?
That's right, Britt. That is exactly right.
Well, all righty then. Now these preserves here of Mrs. Madden's, they're very good. Now you might say that they're excellent.
That's it.
What did she say?
Wrapped right up.
I don't like that.
Okay.
But I've had better.
Did you say?
Oh, get out.
No, there's no doubt about it. I've tasted better, and right here too. Just this morning, right here in Tower Rock.
Oh,
Oh
What's
going on about?
Oh my God.
Now, Mrs. Bingham's preserves here. Now they're good too, as well. No, they're more than good. Why, they're excellent too.
Oh, that's right.
What you getting at?
But they're not the best.
Oh,
What?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, to me, if I had to judge, well, the best tasting strawberry preserves in Foster County are the ones I ate this morning at Gravy Gibson's lunchroom.
What are you saying?
No. I'm awarding the blue ribbon to Gravy Gibson. Now, Otis, you see that he gets it, will you?
You can't do this, Britt. Gravy Gibson ain't even entered.
You told me you wanted me to pick the best tasting preserves in the county, and that's what I just done.
Why, the very idea comparing our preserves to the kind of thing Gravy Gibson serves up.
It is an outrage. I've never been insulted in my whole life. So insulted.
Now you see here, Britt Ponsett.
You think you can get away with this?
Why, for 10 years, Bessie's preserves have been winning blue ribbons.
And Thelma used the same recipe I did, our mother's recipe. And nobody's ever had a finer recipe for strawberry preserves than Minnie Whitford.
That's right.
Now, just a minute.
Don't you just a minute us.
No, sir. Why, half the time you can't even eat Gravy Gibson's food.
Why, everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that. Otis, you hear? This is the last county fair I'm ever going to enter.
And that goes for me too, Otis. Bessie, come on, let's get out of here.
And the sooner the better.
Well, don't just stand there, Kermit. Can't you see we're leaving?
Yes, dear, yes.
Rome, come along now.
Yes, Bessie.
Well, I'll be.
God, do you see that?
My eyes do not deceive.
Britt,
Never
Britt,
mind.
did you see that? They went off together. All four of them together.
Yup, yup. That's how it looked, all right.
Well, if that don't beat the dust. You got them so mad at you. They all went off together. I might have known you was up to something.
I don't know what you're talking about, Otis. I was given my considered opinion about strawberry preserves. You know, funny thing about it was, it's true what I said. The preserves I had on my breakfast toast over at Gravy Gibson's did taste better than Thelma's or Bessie's. Because the fact of the matter is, I couldn't really taste their preserves at all. Why, I just burned the daylights out of my tongue drinking Gravy's coffee. Oh boy. And I couldn't taste a thing afterwards. And boy, was that miserable coffee. If I ever, Gravy sure is a terrible cook.
The Six Shooter is a transcribed NBC radio production. It is written by Frank Bird and based on a character created by him. Brenna Dinon, who played Britt Ponsett, may currently be seen in the Universal picture, The Glenn Miller Story. Others in the cast were Nicholas Perilli as Otis Spears, Betsy Herbert as Bessie Madden, Britny Brooks as Rome Madden, Iris Johnston as Thelma Bingham, and Luke Condzal as Kirk Bingham. The spokesperson for the National Safety Council was Kelly Ralabate. Special music and sound effects for this program were made by Jeremy Eric Tenenbaum, who directed the production with Kevin Travers. All characters and incidents were fictitious, and any resemblance to actual characters or incidents is purely coincidental. This is Kevin Travers speaking. And now tonight, hear an address by President Eisenhower on the NBC Radio Network. And what a first yarn that was, folks. Please unmute yourselves to give a hand to our lovely players and then kindly mute yourselves once again.
I never in my whole life. Oh no, we're not doing that.
What a raucous and wonderful time that was. And now, for my favorite part, the intermission. We have 5 minutes. Please grab a drink, BRB, and then we'll have another word from our sponsors. 5 minutes, everyone. 5 minutes.
All right, we're back.
I feel like I'm not still unclear what we're doing now for the first one. You're gonna mute?
Mute and
You're
unmute.
all mute and
Yep.
unmute? Okay, I can do that.
We're all muted.
I'm very
Just
skilled.
me. Hi, Kevin.
What else is there?
Hi, Radio Swords players.
Hi.
That's all. I just felt lonely.
Hi.
Hello, people. Hello,
Afraid.
Violet and Hazel in your post-dinner haze.
Where'd they go?
In
Oh,
your-
look at Rosie's cat.
Hello,
20
Rosie.
seconds. We begin in 20 seconds.
Wow, that's really specific. Okay.
Hello.
You have to, they can't see you.
Hello.
Where are they?
Hi. Hello.
4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us at the Radio Sorts Play. And that's my timer. Welcome back. I hope you are all refreshed and have a nice beverage. I am drinking lemon ginger tea. Before we get on to our next story, a word from our sponsors. This radio play presentation is brought to you by Sorts, a paperless magazine on the internet containing stories, poems, songs, and visual art, all on pages not made out of trees. Hey, gang, if you're like me, you love to not read things and then tell other people that you have read them. But reading is not without danger. Think of the paper cuts. Think of the stacks in your house gathering dust that'll one day you'll trip over and break your neck on. If you have these concerns but don't want to give up the habit of kind of reading things, you should try the internet. And if you're going to read the internet, try Sorts. 100% of the pulpy goodness, 0% actual pulp. Sorts is stories, poems, songs, and illustrations to help while away the wintry summer nights and cruel autumn days. It's an oddball, grab bag, Wunderkammer mixtape you found under the car seat, an activity box lost and found. And yes, you may hate me for saying Wunderkammer, but what you won't hate is Sortes. That's S-O-R-T-E-S. And yes, we are pronouncing that incorrectly. Sortes, found in whatever incognito browser window you happen to have open at the time. And now, for our second tale, we are in 1950, opening the vaults of Dimension X, where you may learn to beware the logic named Joe.
Test that.
Go.
Okay. This week is National Wheaties Week, and Wheaties presents Dimension X. It's National Wheaties Week, and here's the forecast for tomorrow morning. Bright and cheerful with occasional smiles, followed by a good morning all morning long. Think I'm kidding? No, sir. You'll have a better morning around your house tomorrow if you started off with a good breakfast, including, I hope, a bowl of Wheaties with milk and fruit. Nourishment? Say, Wheaties has plenty to give. There's a whole kernel of wheat in every Wheaties flake. Talk about vitamins and minerals and proteins. They're all yours in Wheaties. All you have to do is get them, those Wheaties, at your nearest store. Get them and try them this week. For me, for you. Try them once and see for yourself how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11. Ready? Let's go. It's National Wheaties Week.
And now, tonight's adventures in time and space, told in future tense. Dimension X, 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 X. To all our listeners, a brief forward before tonight's adventure in the world of the future. Beginning next week, Dimension X moves to a new time on Friday evenings instead of Saturdays. In the Eastern Time Zone, it will be heard at 9 o'clock Fridays, Eastern Daylight Savings Time. In other zones, please consult your local newspapers to learn the new time of the program. Now, tonight's venture into the world of tomorrow is a most unusual story about a logic named Joe and a man named Frank and how he saved civilization.
It was on the 3rd day of August that Joe came off the assembly line. On the 4th, Lorraine came into town. And that afternoon, I saved civilization. Lorraine's a blonde I was crazy about once. And Joe is a new 1974 model Logic that I got stored away down in the cellar. How do I save civilization? I save it by keeping Joe down in that cellar. But you know, sometimes I still think about turning on Joe and letting him make $1 million for me.
You are now listening to a voice from the future, the voice of Frank Caldwell, head serviceman for the Logic Corporation, makers of the Logic, the machine that does everything for you. Well, nearly everything anyway. In the year we speak of, in 1974, the electronic Logic sets were working so well that life was soft indeed for repairman Frank Caldwell. That is, until the fatal day of August 3rd, when suddenly the Logics began doing everything for their users, and doing it too well.
Hey boss, what's the matter? Somebody put you through the ringer?
Look, Frank, there's a customer outside. Go take care of him, will you?
Me? I'm a maintenance man.
I know, but there are no salesmen around this minute. And this guy wants to have our machines explained to him.
Explain to him?
Yeah.
Everybody in the world knows about Logics. Where's he been? On Mars?
Just moved up from the backwoods someplace.
Why don't you explain it to him?
Look, you the boss here, or am I? Going out there, will you?
Okay. Morning. My name's Caldwell. How can I help you?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Caldwell. My name's Korlanovich, and this is my boy, Freddie.
Hiya, Freddie.
Hiya, jerk.
Ooh. Ow.
Oh, Freddie.
I got you good, didn't I?
Fine kid you got there.
Freddie, how many times I gotta tell you not to kick people in the shins? Excuse him, please, Mr. Caldwell. He's just...
Yeah, sure. Just a kid.
I got me a real Bowie knife at home. It could cut you into 1 million pieces.
Freddie, we'd like to buy a Logic, Mr. Caldwell. The gentleman we spoke to first said he had to leave in a hurry.
Oh, he did, huh? Well, I understand you're not acquainted with Logics, Mr. Kolanovich.
Yeah, that's right. We just moved to the city. My wife, she saw that everybody else had a Logic, and you know how women are.
You bet. Well, you can't get along without a Logic in this day and age, Mr. Kolanovich.
Look it, I got a snake in my pocket you want to see.
Oh, you shut up. I mean, well, yeah, now about the Logic.
Yeah?
Here, I'll plug one in. There, now, you see, the Logic looks kind of like an old-fashioned television set, only it's got keys instead of dials. Now, let's say you want to talk to a friend.
Yeah?
You just punch in the number on the Logic. Just like making an old-fashioned telephone call, except you not only hear him, but you see him too, on the viewing screen here. Now, of course, that's not the most important feature of these things.
Oh.
Now, suppose you wanted to ask it a question.
A question?
Yeah, like, what to take for a sore throat. Or, who won the American League pennant in 1911? You just turn on your Logic. Then you punch in the question key and ask like this. Who was the first president of the United States?
George Washington.
You see?
I already knew that.
Well, that was just a sample.
Oh. Well, I own a little store. Will it keep books for me?
It'll keep your books, record your contacts, serve as a filing system, check up on what your lawyer's been, on your lawyer's client, anything.
They're really something, these things.
10,000 services and information sources in each one. Read our advertising.
Well, but Mr. Caldwell, how do these Logics work?
You see that building across the street?
Sure.
Well, that's one of the relay tanks. Now there's dozens around the country, all hooked up together. And there's data plates in each one of those tanks for every fact in creation.
You mean those relays know everything?
If there's something they don't know, the technicians are busy making a relay plate for it right now. The logic integrates the facts in the tanks and gives you the answers.
Hey, you, can I ask this thing how to make dart poison?
How to make what?
Dart poison. I could shoot the darts from my blowgun.
Oh, well, I think maybe we better not get one of these things.
No. But Mr. Kolonovich, the logic won't tell you about no dart poison, see?
Bet it will. I'm gonna try it. Hey, you, how do you make dart poison?
Public policy forbids this service.
Huh? What did you do that for?
Kind of some little brat who, on account of some children, might ask at things that ain't good for him.
Listen, I don't like this one here. I want that one over there.
They're all alike, kid.
I want that one. I can't have this one. I'm gonna hold my breath until I'm dead.
Well, I got lots of time.
It's no use, Mr. Caldwell. You might as well give him the one he wants.
But kid, they're all alike. Even I can't tell them apart.
I can, and I want Joe.
Joe? Who's Joe?
Oh, I think he means the logic, Mr. Caldwell. He has to think up a name to call everything. You should hear the names he calls me.
I'm not gonna say that word again until I'm 21. I promise, Mother.
Fine, call him Joe, whatever. What makes you think Joe's any different from the rest?
He looks different somehow.
Don't be silly. Them things are all alike to 1/10,000th of an inch.
Just the same. I bet he'll teach me how to make dart poison.
Okay, then. Let's get you your Joe. He keeps yelling, I want that one. I want that one. I'm going to call him Joe. Man, I could have wrung his neck. I really could have.
How many cards, Charlie?
Pass.
I'll draw 2. Boy, what a holy terror. And he had his father scared to death.
Too bad that kid ain't mine. I'd have showed him quick enough who's boss in the family. Holy smokes.
What's the matter?
Sorry, fellas. I gotta hold up the hand a minute. I just remembered. I gotta call my wife.
Let her wait a minute.
You ever met my wife?
Yeah, I did. Don't let her see the card game or she'll be down here with a hatchet.
You're telling me. Hey, what's the matter with this thing? It ain't getting my house.
Announcing new and improved Logic's service. Your Logic is now equipped to give not only consultative, but directive advice. If you want to do something and don't know how to do it, ask your Logic.
What the?
Oh, what? That's.
What do you know?
Well, what do you know about that? Is it just somebody pulling a gag?
Well, it don't sound like a gag to me. Maybe the boss decided to add a new logic service?
No. The boss knows better than to start anything like that. Look, the minute it starts giving advice, some joker like you is going to be asking questions like, how do I get rid of my wife?
Yeah, but you just heard what the logic just said.
No. I'm telling you, the sensor circuits will block the question. You don't believe me? Go on, try it.
Okay. Anything for a laugh.
I'm telling you, try it. Try it.
Okay, logic. I got a question for you. How do I get rid of my wife?
Service question. Is your wife blonde or brunette?
Did you hear that? She's a blonde.
Hexacryloaminatine is a constituent of green shoe polish. Take home a frozen meal containing pea soup. Color the soup with green shoe polish. This poison is fatal to blonde females only. This fact has not been brought out by human experiment, but is a product of logic's service. You cannot be convicted of murder. It is improbable that you will be suspected.
I can't. What is,
Like
what
the
is
future.
That is nuts.
Saints preserve us. What it said. Is that true?
Well, it's bound to be right. These things can make a mistake. Look, Mike, don't just stand there. Turn that thing off. And check the sensor circuits, quick.
We can't get into them. They're all sealed up. It's supposed to be impossible for them to go out of order.
Well, they're out of order now. I got a feeling some awful things are going to happen. Boss, look, we got to do something. The logics have gone nuts.
Relax. The thing gave a goofy answer once. Maybe it was a joke.
Who ever heard of a logic making a joke?
Well, it was an accident. Forget it. It won't happen again.
What makes you so sure? People are going to be trying it. Now, look, supposing I want to get rid of you, for instance.
Well, you don't. How would you collect your pay?
Yeah, but supposing. Now, watch me try it and you'll see what the logic says.
If you want to do something and don't know how, ask your logic.
How do I bump off my boss?
Huh?
Male, bald-headed, 45.
Service question. Is he fat or thin?
Holy mackerel.
Fat.
Make some chocolate ice cream containing powdered charcoal in place of half the chocolate. Use Hatso brand charcoal. Hatso contains an undetectable ingredient, fatal only to fat, bald-headed males. You will not be suspected or convicted. This information is a product of logic's service.
Did you hear what it said? This keeps up, we'll have to shut down the company.
You kidding me? We can't shut down the company, and you know it. Logics do all the computing, bookkeeping, filing, and recording of contracts for every business in the country. They handle all television programs, personal calls, weather forecasts, employment notices.
I know that, but we need to
wake up. If we shut down the Logics, we go back to a civilization we've forgotten how to run.
Yeah, but the point is, boss, they're giving out information on murder, and no telling what else.
Well, we'll just have to find out why and fix it. Meantime, there's nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about?
Of course not. You've asked these questions for a gag. Nobody's going to ask them seriously. What you need is a little faith in human nature. Oh, excuse me. It's probably the wife.
Person-to-person video call. Go ahead.
Cyrus, dear, how do you feel?
Why, just fine, sweetheart.
I just called to tell you, Cyrus. I want you to be sure and get home on time for dinner.
Yeah, why?
Because I've got a surprise for you, dear. Your favorite dessert.
Dessert? What kind?
Homemade chocolate ice cream. The flavor's heavenly, Cyrus. When you taste it, you'll just die.
Jesus.
Cyrus, what's wrong? You there? Cyrus.
Chocolate ice cream, huh?
This can't be happening. Agnes wouldn't. Why? This is dangerous.
Have a little faith in human nature, huh?
Caldwell, you're the head of the maintenance crew. I'll give you 24 hours to fix these Logics, or you're fired.
Now look, boss, I don't.
Give me the police. Give me an extra maintenance crew. Give me a doctor. Now get moving.
Get moving where?
Anywhere. Find out what the Logics are up to and make sure you find out before the Logics do.
Dimension X. will continue in just a moment.
Oh, I'm Frankie Martin, and this week is National Wheaties Week.
Frankie, want to take that line again?
Oh, sure, Blaine. And this week is National Wheaties Week. Better?
Keep going, Frankie. We're live on the air.
That's right, Blaine. And that voice you hear, ladies and gentlemen, belongs to my severest critic, Blaine Butcher, who's here to help us celebrate National Wheaties Week. Blaine listens in to see that I tell it to you right, just how.
Frankie, I think you're taking that introduction a little fast. Suppose you now,
See what I mean, folks? Blaine, you know the score. Why don't you tell them about National Wheaties Week?
If you say so, Frankie. Folks, all I'll say is this. Those who tell the Wheaties story believe in what we say. And during National Wheaties Week, the good word is this. Get a package of Wheaties and try them just once. For me, for you. Try them once and see for yourself how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11. And remember, this week is National Wheaties Week.
Now, Act 2 of A Logic Named Joe on Dimension X.
Bartender. Hey, bartender. Give me a double.
Coming up.
Oh, what's the matter, pal? You had a bad day?
Go away, will ya?
Oh, listen, pal. You gotta listen to this. I got troubles.
Hey, bartender, you get this barfly away from me. For Pete's sake, I'm tired.
On your way,
pal. Oh, don't say that. I got troubles. How am I gonna keep my wife and find out a couple little drinks? How am I gonna do that, huh?
Oh, look, mister, it's a hot day out there and I've been driving around in it.
Yeah?
I've been trying to keep a bank president from having a heart attack on account of his logic told him how to rob his own bank. I've been tripping over dead bodies so artistically croaked that nobody's ever gonna find out who done it. And all you got in your mind is if your wife.
How I'm gonna keep my wife, find out a couple little drinks.
Yeah, we'll ask a logic like everybody else.
A logic? My pal, that's a wonderful idea. Where's a logic around here?
Right behind you. Here's a nickel.
Oh, give me a nickel. Give me a nickel. Gotta put in the logic.
No, this I gotta hear. This is gonna be good.
Oh, come on, logical pal. Big answer. Tell me, how's the guy keep his wife from finding out he's a couple little drinks? Answer me that. How? You answer me that?
Buy a bottle of Franine hair shampoo. It is harmless, but contains an ingredient which instantly neutralizes alcohol. Take 1 teaspoonful for each jigger you've consumed.
Oh boy, I gotta buy a bottle of Freddy. I gotta buy a bottle for what was that again?
Look, supposing it's right, you never remember it as far as the drugstore. Sheesh, I think there's a bottle in the back room.
Oh, my pal again, no more troubles. Oh, show me the way to go.
I got a picture of him back there drinking that shampoo.
Give me another double.
I don't know what's worse, to be as low as you or as high as him.
All right, where is he? I know he's here. Where's that bum?
Huh? Who you want, lady?
My husband. I know he's here. Now, where is he?
Oh, way to go home.
That no good louse. I'll show him. Thinks he can come staggering home again, does he? Well, I'll teach him.
Ah, poor guy.
Oh, my dear, what a surprise to see you here.
Archibald?
Yes, my love?
You're
Sober. Well, of course, my love. I'm sober as a judge.
Then what are you doing in this saloon?
Why? Merely conducting a little research, my dear.
Research?
Your suspicious tone wounds me deeply, my love. Let me tell you, Dumpling. I've been conducting a research project that will earn us a fortune. I'm about to patent Soba, the drink that makes happy homes.
Sergeant, I'm Frank Caldwell from the Logics Company. I just stopped in to see...
Logics Company? Listen, Caldwell, you people get those blasted machines under control or we'll have you all behind bars.
Now, look, Sergeant,
No, you look at this blotter. Blank. The greatest crime wave in history, and we can't even make an arrest. They're all perfect crimes.
We're doing our best to find out who...
Well, it's not good enough. If you can't find anything, shut down the company, or the police department will. We know there's got to be some big gang behind this. Hey, maybe you know something about it, Caldwell.
Now, look, nobody's back of it. The Logics run themselves. They pick their own circuits automatically.
You mean that they're doing this all by themselves?
Sure. We always thought they could do more things than we knew about. I think they're just trying to be helpful, is all.
Oh, that's all, is it? Well, you'd better make them cut out the tricks, including this new one, this new business they're up to now.
What new business?
Just started an hour ago. Every time you turn on a Logic, it asks you your name and then spiels out the whole history of your life.
Huh? I hadn't heard about that. What's it do that for?
You tell me. Go on, try it.
Okay.
What is your name?
Huh. How do you like that? I'm Frank Caldwell.
Frank Caldwell. Were you ever called Ducky?
Huh, Ducky?
Lay off it, will you? What if I was? It's been years.
Ducky, there is a video call for you.
Hi there, Ducky.
Holy cats.
Well, who's that?
That's Lorraine.
Why, Ducky, darling, how marvelous.
But if it ain't Lorraine, where are you?
Oh, silly. I just got into town. I'm in my hotel room. Say, how'd you like my play suit?
Well,
Oh, Ducky, wasn't it smart of the Logic to find you?
Logic? Find me?
I asked it how to find you, Ducky. You must have an unlisted number, darling. You're not in the directory.
Yeah. Oh, that would explain why the Logics are asking people for their names. They were looking for me. Well, how have you been, Lorraine, since I saw you last? I heard you got married?
Why, that's right, Ducky. You won't believe me, I know, but I've had 4 husbands. But I've never loved nobody like I loved you.
You divorced 4 husbands?
3. The last one died unexpectedly.
Who unexpected it?
He did. But the jury just acquitted me, Ducky. They knew it was just a little accident. So now I'm free again, and we just got loads of things to talk over, you and me.
Yeah, but Lorraine, I can't.
Now you just come right over here, Ducky, instantaneously.
Now, Lorraine, the thing is, I'm working, yeah?
Oh, I'm so lonesome. Ducky, you ever think of me?
Oh, yeah, sure, plenty.
Ain't you sweet now? Well, here's a kiss for you. Mwah! That'll just have to last you till you get over here.
Yeah, sure, but listen, I gotta go to work. I'll call you back.
Well, make it quick, Ducky.
Oh, my head. What am I gonna do?
Do like you were telling me a while ago.
Huh?
Calm yourself, ducky.
Call on the logic for you, Frank, your wife.
Thanks, Mike. Hey, Gert?
Frank, I've been trying to get you for an hour. Where have you been?
Well, I've been out making calls, honey. I'm trying to find out what ails these logics.
Well, you better find out in a hurry or there's going to be trouble. That thing, it told me my address, how much I owe every store, and how much you make a week. And all about that time we had that fight and I went home to Mother.
Well, Gert, I don't think they're doing that anymore. I think that was just temporary.
Well, in the meantime, it's told everybody in the neighborhood all about me. Listen, I punched in Mrs. Hudson's name. She's been married 3 times. And she said Mr. Hud's been arrested twice for non-support and once for getting rough with her. It'll tell anybody anything.
Yeah, but I tell you, Gert, this is...
Frank, you stop these things or I'm going to leave you.
Gert, you don't mean that.
I do. If you can't figure out how to keep our private lives out of every logic in town, then I'm through. And that's settled.
Hey, boss, you got to put more men on this job or something. We got to lick these logics. My wife's going to leave me if we don't.
You're also going to be looking for a job if we don't.
I don't care about the job, but listen.
You listen. The logics are giving out information on high explosives, the fine points of murder, and legal loopholes that'll beat any charge from hijacking to high treason.
Yeah, but my wife.
And about 6 guys have thought of asking how to switch bank credits so they can corner all the cash in the country. Now quit bothering me. Get over to the tank and help Mike try to block off some of those circuits.
Can't even budge any of these relay plates.
Yeah, me neither.
Is there any way we can disconnect them?
There is not. They weren't built to be disconnected.
Mike, what are we gonna do?
They could have slit in my throat is what. When they were giving out all that information on everybody, my wife got the lowdown on a certain blonde. I got nothing left to live for.
Blonde. Oh, why you gotta remind me?
You got one too?
My only hope is I ain't got her, and she ain't getting me. Huh.
Hey, see who that's for.
Well, hello, Ducky, darling.
Lorraine! Oh, not again.
Ducky, darling, I'm so lonesome. Why haven't you come over?
Well, I've been real busy.
Oh, pooh. Ducky, you remember how much in love we used to be?
Yeah.
And I was so mean to you. Oh, Ducky, let's us get married.
Married? Oh, gosh, Lorraine,
Tonight, let's get ourselves hitched tonight, Ducky.
Look, Lorraine, look, I'm married.
Oh, you poor darling. Oh, you poor darling. Well, we'll just have to get you right out of that.
No. Now look, Lorraine.
Darling, what I'll do is I'll just call up your wife and we'll have a little talk with her.
Oh, no, look, please. It's been real nice that you think of me and all that, but
You just give me your address and your logic number, darling.
I ain't got one.
Oh, you just don't want to tell me, you bashful. Well, never mind, darling. I'll ask my logic.
Lorraine, Oh, I gotta call Gert.
Frank, will you get away from that thing and give me a hand?
Yeah, Mike, in a minute, but I gotta call my wife. We gotta get out of town. Oh, I think I pressed the wrong key.
God damn it, Frank! I told you to help Mike!
Yeah, boss, I am. I just gotta make this call.
Call? What do I care about your call? The president's getting ready to close down the company and declare martial law. Now, for the love of heaven, do something!
Yeah, boss, I will. I just gotta make this call.
Attention. To assist in solving a special problem of logic's service, please give the following information. Where does Frank Caldwell live?
She got me. I'm through. Look, Gert, I'm telling you, there is no blonde.
Frank Caldwell, I told you I was leaving you.
Leave me later, will you? Right now, pack yourself up and the kids. We gotta get out of here. We gotta run.
Run? What is all this? Are the cops after you or something?
Yeah, that's it, the cops. But come on, get moving, will you? Hey, get away from that logic.
Well, don't you think we ought to hear the police calls?
27 and car 31. Detail to round up all employees of the Logix company. Use caution. They are suspected of sedition.
Holy smokes, the cops are after me.
No, you just said they were.
17, car 17. Proceed to vicinity of 119 East 7th Street. Child terrorizing neighborhood. Use extreme caution. Child armed with blowgun, using poison darts. That is all.
Freddie?
Who's Freddie?
Oh, he's just a mean little kid. We're on a logic to tell him how to make poison darts. But this particular logic, being Joe, all logics are alike. I kept telling him they're all alike.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. It's all just, it was a pretty world up until yesterday. Now it feels like some mean guy's come along and smashing all our sandcastles. Oh.
Huh. Mean guy. Looks like some logic named Joe's come along.
Yeah, logic named, but they're all alike. Like I told him, like I said they're all alike. They're just, Gert, baby.
Frank, let go of me. What's wrong with you?
Oh, nothing anymore, honey. Listen, hold down the fort. I'll be back. Maybe they aren't all alike.
Where are you heading? Frank, you making a getaway?
Baby, if you're right, I'm flying straight to the middle of this whole jamboree.
Yes? Oh, I was hoping it was the police.
You remember me, Mr. Kulanovich? Caldwell, of the Logix Company?
Logix Company. I wish the Logix Company was at the bottom of the ocean.
Well, I don't blame you. Now, where's your logic?
In here. I'd smash it into a million pieces if I wasn't afraid of what Freddie would do to me.
Just get out of the way, will you? I got business with Joe.
If you want to do something and don't know how, ask your logic.
Oh, we're back to that routine, huh? Well, I want to do something, all right. Tell me, Joe, can a logic be modified to achieve correlations for which a human brains are too limited?
Yes.
Well, how would that happen?
Microscopically slight changes in programming can come about through extremely improbable accident.
But what would this super logic then be able to do?
Um,
Come on, you spill it.
It could set up entirely new combinations of electronic relays, which would bypass the normal sensor blocks, thereby enabling it to perform valuable new services, including giving helpful advice on any human problem.
Ha ha! Had this improbable accident ever happened, Joe? Come on, come on!
It has happened only once in the case of the logic now owned by the Korlanovich family of 119 East 7th Street. This logic, named Joe.
Thanks, Joe. That's all I wanted to know.
Hey, what's all this about?
Our troubles are over. I'm taking away this logic, Mr. Kolanovich. I'll bring you a new one.
Hey, you, get away from Joe.
Oh, our troubles are just beginning.
Now, Freddie, put down that blowgun.
Ah, shut up. Hey, you, I said get away from my logic.
Now look, Freddie. I'm gonna bring you a nice new one, see?
Nah, I want that one. What I got in this blowgun here ain't beans.
Caldwell, Mr. Caldwell, the police, they're outside.
Yeah, for me and Freddie.
Nuts. What do they want you for? You ain't smart enough to do nothing.
Oh no. Say, kid, there's plenty I could tell you. You hear me?
Open up in there! Open up! Police! Open up this blasted door!
It's the coppers, kid. It's just you and me against them.
So what are you gonna do about it if you're so smart?
Now look, kid, we're gonna have to fight our way out, see? Yeah. Yo, give me that blowgun. I know a way to hop it up so the cops don't have a chance. Come on, give it to me.
Sure, let's see what you can do. Here.
Yeah, thanks, kid. Now, first off, this is for you.
Oh, Mr. Caldwell, you did it.
Just about. Now all I gotta do is pull this plug out of the wall. Come right in, Sergeant. Officers.
Careful, men, careful. That must be the kid, but he don't look so tough to me.
Well, he got a little tenderizing.
Oh, officer, I promise there will be no more complaints from my neighbors. I think I can take over where Mr. Caldwell left off.
Caldwell? You're wanted too. You're gonna answer some questions or we'll keep you in the cooler till you do.
What, jail? Oh, okay, let's go.
Hey, wait a minute. You act like you want to go to jail.
Well, sure I do. I got a feeling I'll be safer in there.
What do you mean, safer?
Just put me away till a certain party leaves town and I'll confess to anything you like.
Well, okay then, Caldwell. Into the paddy wagon you go.
Thanks, Sarge. You're saving my life. Now, if you just help me carry out this logic, we'll be able to...
Whoa. You can't take that in the wagon.
I can't? Why not?
No room. We've already got a dame in there who's raising the roof.
A dame?
Yeah, a blonde. She was trying to buy a gun without a permit. She keeps screaming she's going to miss a date with Ducky.
You have just heard another adventure into the unknown world of the future, the world of Dimension X. In a moment, we'll tell you all about next week's show. But first, here is your Wheaties man, Frankie Martin.
This is National Wheaties Week, the time of year to buy Wheaties and try them. At least once, for goodness sake. Because once you sit down to a bowl of Wheaties with milk and the fruit of your choice, you'll have no doubt. You'll know there's a whole kernel of wheat in every Wheaties flake, And that's good. Besides, starting a better breakfast with Wheaties can help you feel better, look better, and work better all morning.
But you do have to do your part before Wheaties can do theirs. Buy Wheaties. That's what you have to do. Buy them and see how Wheaties at 7 can help out 11. And a happy National Wheaties Week to you.
And as your Wheaties woman, Frankie Martin, I invite you to listen Saturday, that's tomorrow night, to Joel McRae and Tales of the Texas Rangers on the NBC Wheaties Big Parade. I'll see you then.
Next week on Dimension X, we join the big lineup of exciting half-hour presentations at a brand new time on Friday evenings at a different hour. In the Eastern Time Zone, you'll hear it at 9 o'clock Friday, Daylight Savings Time. In other zones, please consult your local newspaper listings to learn the new time, because that's when Dimension X will bring you one of the strangest stories ever told. Ray Bradbury's Mars is Heaven.
Tonight's story on Dimension X was titled A Logic Named Joe, written by Murray Leinster and adapted for radio by Clarice A. Ross. Featured in the cast were Dwight Evan Young as Frank Caldwell, Emily Zido as Frank's wife Gert, Brian Maloney as Frank's boss, Rachel Specht as the boss's wife Agnes, Nicholas Perilli as Mr. Korlanovich, Britny Brooks as Freddie, Kailey Tedesco as the voice of the Logics, Iris Johnston as Laureen, Betsy Herbert as Frank's pal Mike, Eric Rand as Frank's pal Murray, Abbey Minor as Frank's pal Charlie, Victoria Mier as the bartender, Daniel DiFranco as the drunk, Rosanna Byrnes as the drunk's wife, and Luke Condzal as the sergeant. For Wheaties, Kelly Ralabate was Frankie Martin, and Brenna Dinon was Blaine Butcher. Music and sound was by Jeremy Eric Tenenbaum, who directed the production with Kevin Travers. Your Dimension X host was Kevin Travers. Jeremy Eric Tenenbaum speaking. Tomorrow, hear a thrilling story on High Adventure. It's on NBC.
And that's the end of our show, folks. Thank you so much for joining us on this chilly Friday evening. We hope you enjoyed yourselves. Please check out Sorts Magazine. We will give you more information on the next Radio Sorts if you follow us on the socials and sign up for our newsletter. But we are not on Twitter because not even Jeremy and I hate ourselves that much. From all of us at Radio Sorts and Sorts Prime, I wish you a lovely weekend. And please give one more round of applause for our Radio Sorts players to whom we are very grateful. That's Kelly, Brenna, Dwight, Brian, Rachel, Nicholas, Sydney, Kailey, Betsy, Evan, Abby, Daniel, Rosanna, Luke, Iris, and Emily.
Oh baby mine, oh baby mine, oh baby mine, oh baby mine. I get so lonely when I dream about you. Can't do without you. That's why I dream about you. If I could only put my arms about you, life would be so fair. If you were there, we two could hug and kiss and never tire. I'm on fire. You are my one desire. I get so lonely when I dream about you. Why can't you be there? Tossing and turning in my slumber. Oh baby, holding you it seems. Oh baby, I give you kisses without number, but only in my dreams. Oh baby mine, I get so lonely when I dream about you. Can't do without you. That's why I dream about you. If I could only put my arms about you, life would be so fair. Tossing and turning in my slumber, holding you it seems. Oh baby, I give you kisses without number, but only in my dreams. Oh baby, I get so lonely when I dream about you. Can't do without you. That's why I dream about you. If I could only put my arms about you, life would be so fair. baby, my life would be so fair. Baby, my life would be so fair.